definition of a West Coast G.
Some people may say, well, you over-dramatized it. No, we're not. It's not a drama workshop. It is a reality.
Niggas without a chick. Niggas without a chick. Niggas without a chick.
I'm coming straight out of Compton.
Nearly 2 decades ago.
Ice Cube.
When I think of Ice Cube, I think of
West Coast to the full. Big ass W.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Everyone knows that this is about bringing the Boulevard together with the Academy. And this brother has always been bringing some of the Academy into the Boulevard. He's always brought what's up here into his music. He's kept it real, he's kept it hard, but he's also kept it deep. And I think that's what we love about him. Ice Cube, I'd like to ask you about 1 or 2 of your cuts that had a special meaning for me in this Laugh Now, Cry Later. The ghetto is a nigger trap.
Yeah.
Take the cheese. Soon as you do it, here come the police. Invented and designed for us to fail. Where are you going to end up, dead or in jail? What were you thinking about when you put that piece together?
At the time, a lot of people was talking about trap music and that they was doing trap music. And I felt like we got to look at the ghetto, the whole ghetto, as a trap. It's a trap really to get us either dead or in jail. It kind of knocks off 2 birds with 1 stone for people who want to see us, always, at the bottom of the pyramid. Everything that's there that looks easy is always easy till the police come, and then your life gets real hard.
You've been a groundbreaker in music, of course, but you're also doing groundbreaking business work. You aren't dependent on people like so many of us are. I'm dependent on my check for USC for my check. You're not dependent on anybody for dental and health and benefits of any kind. You even say it in your music. How were you able to assert yourself, make that break from dependency, go out there, stick your head in the lion's mouth, take those risks, take those gambles, and succeed? And do you think that others can follow you, other artists can follow you, the model that you set up?
Yeah, I had looked at, and I believe you're talking about Lynch Mob Records, and I put this new album, Laugh Now, Cry Later, out on Lynch Mob Records, which is an independent label. And I just decided, man, that the record companies, the last thing, I sat in a lot of meetings with a lot of major labels, and the last thing you hear out their mouth is, what you think the fans want? They always talking about sound scan, they talking about charts, they're talking about videos, they never talk about the fans. So I just wanted to be able to do my music for the fans and not for radio and not for all these other alternative things, but for the people who've been down with me for day one. And I just knew, thank you. I just knew that it was a way to get the record to the fans, and I knew I was gonna treat the fans right and make them feel like they was a part of the record. And it was the best business decision that I made because, I put my money where my mouth was, and, I won with that. And, that's what it's all about. And I hope some artists that got all this money will start doing that, because then we can kind of take our industry back. And that's what we need to do, the ones that's in position to do it.
You took 2, maybe 3 years out of doing next Fridays, Friday after next. Everybody's, give me another Friday. You got it. You say it on Laugh Now, Cry Later rightly. You can make all the money you want, but you decided to take 2-3 years off of those cash cows, that easy money, and do something like this, to go back to your rap roots. Why did you take that much time off? Does rap mean that much to you? Are your feelings that strong about it? why wouldn't you just go like so many artists and go for the gold?
Rap is everything to me. I mean, rap is my foundation. It wouldn't be no movies without the music, and I just keep that in perspective. You know, with my music, it's one man, one voice. It's no meetings, it's no committees, it's no other interests. You know, when you're doing a movie, it's never one man, one voice. You need over 100 people to get the movie out and done and right, you know, including actors and everything. So it's kind of, you know, doing a project by committee. So only in music I have the true freedom to do what I want, say what I want, be what I want. In movies, it's more of a business. You know, we've got millions of dollars from some source, and they want to put in their 2 cents too. So, you know, it's just never that, you know, I'm not a control freak, but, you know, I do want to get my voice out there. So the music will always be there no matter how many movies I do. You know, even if I didn't sell the music, I would still do it because, you know, just like Ludacris, it's definitely therapy for me.
My question's about the writing process. Like, when you begin to write a song, do you already know, like, this is going to be a club banger, this is going to be a concert song? How do you, or do you just, like, write whatever comes to you?
I try to write concept songs first because they're the hardest ones to write. You know, it's real easy to write a song about the club, you know, because only certain amount of things gonna happen in the club, you know what I mean? So it's not hard to put a club song together. You talk about the music, the women, the drink, whatever, the line, what you got on, and most people end it there. So I just like to dig a little deeper, so I usually start off with the concept songs, and then I do the club songs later at the end.
Cube, could you please tell us what was the inspiration behind It Was a Good Day? Also, how long it took you to write it, what it means to you, and where it ranks among your own favorites? I wrote It Was a Good Day, you know, around the same time I was kind of thinking about the Friday movie. You know, thank you. You know, we had put out music with NWA that represented the hood in one way. Movies had come out, you know, Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, that represented the hood in one way. But, you know, the hood is a lot of ways, you know, so we wanted to show that we had fun in the hood too, and we had good days, and it wasn't all, you know, the worst place on earth, because, you know, the hood could be the best place on earth if you know what to do with it. And so, you know, I just wanted to talk about that and not just always talk about what's wrong, but talk about the good times too, because reality is reality. It took me about a day to write it, and to be honest, some of my homeboys didn't want me to do the song because they kept saying, man, you do hardcore rap, you know, why do this song right now? I said, this is the perfect song to do right now because everybody think that, you know, all we can rap about is what's going on wrong. So here goes a song with what's right in the hood.
Can you talk to us about some problems you've had with censorship? I know that Professor Armour doesn't mind quoting some of your controversial lyrics in class, but any problems internally with the label or with radio stations?
I mean, it's been well documented that NWA, we received a letter from the FBI back in '89, and you know, we tripped off the letter. You know, us in the group, me, Easy, Ren, Dre, we kind of had a kick. We got a kick out of it. You know, we was a little naive on the FBI because all we knew was the Lenox Sheriff, the LAPD, the Compton PD. That's all we knew. So we didn't care. The FBI, they was like so far away from us, so we really didn't care. But our record company was freaking out. You know, the owner of the label, he went to Canada. We couldn't find him for about 30 days. And, you know, we had problems with the PMRC. Tipper Gore was starting that campaign. We went on tour behind Bobby Brown and the Beastie Boys, and that didn't help us at all.
You know what I mean? And, you know, they just gave us problems. You know, we couldn't sing Fuck the Police on tour. We had to tell the promoters that we wouldn't sing that song or they wouldn't even let us go on. And we had cops coming in the dressing room. We've been arrested on stage a couple of times. You know, we went through the gamut of what you can go through as an artist, but we had a ball doing it because it was better than what we was doing in our neighborhood just sitting around, you know.
I noticed the prop you had on stage with the West Coast sign, and so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the West Coast East Coast feud that existed, how pervasive it was, if you think it still exists to any extent, if you thought you played any role in it as a member of West Side Connection.
I hope I played a role in it to some extent because, I mean, from our point of view, you know, New York is the mecca of hip-hop. It's where most of the media attention is generated. You know, you got BET there, you got MTV, you got most of the magazines, most of the labels. So, you know, after, you know, NWA and our success, we felt like the East Coast kind of gave us a pat on the back and was like, you know, good job, NWA. Good job, Ice Cube. But wait a minute, Death Row, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all is taking this thing a little too long. And we had took a lot of light off of the East Coast, and we heard a backlash. You know, we heard records like F. Compton and records that was coming out of New York from that angle. So, you know, me, Mac 10, WC, we decided, man, we're going to hold up this West Coast with pride, and we're going to try to galvanize our coast so we can at least have a say in what's going to happen to our future. And we can't just, you know, get hated on and then get hated out the industry, because we felt like, what if BET heard some of these guys talking, or MTV and all the places.
I noticed the prop you had on stage with the West Coast sign, and so I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about the West Coast East Coast feud that existed, how pervasive it was, if you think it still exists to any extent, if you thought you played any role in it as a member of West Side Connection.
I hope I played a role in it to some extent because, I mean, from our point of view, you know, New York is the mecca of hip-hop. It's where most of the media attention is generated. You know, you got BET there, you got MTV, you got most of the magazines, most of the labels. So, you know, after, you know, NWA and our success, we felt like the East Coast kind of gave us a pat on the back and was like, you know, good job, NWA. Good job, Ice Cube. But wait a minute, Death Row, hold on, wait a minute. Y'all is taking this thing a little too long. And we had took a lot of light off of the East Coast, and we heard a backlash. You know, we heard records like F. Compton and records that was coming out of New York from that angle. So, you know, me, Mac 10, WC, we decided, man, we're going to hold up this West Coast with pride, and we're going to try to galvanize our coast so we can at least have a say in what's going to happen to our future. And we can't just, you know, get hated on and then get hated out the industry, because we felt like, what if BET heard some of these guys talking, or MTV and all the places. To get our music out. What if they say the West Coast is whack? So we had to defend ourselves to a point where we had to say, look, man, we making viable music. We've made music to change the world too. So it was kind of a self-defense thing when it comes to the West Coast. Now, Biggie and Tupac is totally different. That's personal. But as far as the coast beef, it was something that kind of was forced upon the West Coast, and I believe the South has benefited off of that feud ever since. Yeah.
Just one more time for South Central Compton, LA's own homegrown genius. All right, Ice Cube.
Thank you, SC.